Hello everyone, we are going to analyze the long or short strategy for Chevron and NEE. Now I'm going to introduce these two companies. Chevron's main business includes the exploration and production of crude oil and natural gas. NEE's main business includes electric power and energy infrastructure, includes FPL and NER. Now I'm going to introduce some of the ESG risks. First, the society's awareness of environmental issues continue to improve, which may lead to increased legal and reputational risks. Over time, there will be increased new regulations, monitoring, and mandatory remedies. Second, the potential to waste large amounts of water during mining and production operations puts companies at risk of reduced water availability, regulatory restrictions on use, or increased costs. Third, climate change is expected to affect the quantity, quality, and natural circulation of freshwater supply in an unpredictable manner. Lastly, with the global low carbon model, companies that do not manage their carbon risks or are not consistent with the low carbon business model will face more regulatory framework risks and operating costs. Next, when we predict our high growth duration, we found that in California, the government and the California Air Resources Board are proposing to start selling only zero-emission vehicles in 2035. Also, Biden has released an infrastructure proposal including a goal of 100% carbon-free electricity by 2035. So we decide the high growth duration for Chevron is 13 and NEE is 87.
Okay, next we will evaluate the Chevron's valuation. We use DCF model of two-stage growth. First, we will calculate the DPIs next year. According to the EY report, oil and natural gas production has grown steadily since 2015, and we will use Chevron's average growth rate of DPIs from 2016 to 2021 to predict Chevron's DPIs, which is about $5.54. And next, we will calculate the high growth rate. According to BP Energy's report, average growth rate of oil is about 0.8%, and the average growth rate of natural gas is about 1.9%. And we also assume that Chevron will transfer their business to clean energy, which will increase DPIs about 2% per year. So the high growth rate is about 4.7%. And next, we will calculate the terminal growth rate. According to IGA's report, gasoline's demand will reduce by half by 2015, and oil refining in North America reduced by about 13% from more than 14% by 2015. So the terminal growth rate is about -5%. And we use CAPM model to calculate the required return. The oil and gas production exploration industry's beta is about 1.3, and the average stock market return is about 8.9%. And the risk-free rate is about 7%. So the required return is about 9.5%. And the current stock price is higher than the total value. So we need to short Chevron stock.
Now let's look at data related to the valuation of NEE. The average annual growth rate of NEE's DPS in the last 5 years is about 11%. By the impact of the war, the price of oil and natural gas increased a lot in the last year, which pushed the increased demand of the alternative source of energy like wind and solar in the world. Hence, we would assume that the growth rate of the DPS in the next year will be a little bit higher than that of the average. By calculation, the DPS next year will be $2. We assume that the terminal growth rate of NEE is equal to the average growth rate of the revenue of the electricity industry in the United States in the last 10 years. And the high growth rate of NEE is about 10%, which is equal to the compounded average growth rate of global renewable electricity from 2020 to 2026. The required return for the NEE is about 10.5%, which is a little bit higher than that of Chevron, since it's more risky to invest on the sustainable energy. Finally, we get the fair value of the NEE is about $157 per share, which is much higher than the stock price today. So our recommendation for the NE is to buy. That's all about our presentation. Thank you.